In a world where status is everything and your bank balance defines your worth, we often forget that the most dangerous predators are those who blend into the shadows. Imagine a man weaving through the chaotic city traffic on a battered scooter, wearing a faded windbreaker, with a delivery box strapped to his back. To the arrogant elites in their glass skyscrapers, he is invisible, a mere delivery boy named the Chun. But beneath that humble exterior lies a secret that would make the most powerful men in the country tremble in fear. The Chun is not just a courier. He is the hidden master of the Blue Dragon from the legendary Northern Fortress. He is a man of absolute power, a warrior whose name once commanded armies, now living as a ghost in the very city that betrayed his family. Why would a man who could rule the world choose to deliver packages for pennies? The answer is buried in a cold, forgotten grave. The Chun's mother didn't just die. She was erased by a conspiracy so deep that only someone from the bottom of society could ever hope to uncover the truth. He traded his throne for a delivery bike, using his job as the ultimate camouflage to infiltrate the elite circles of the city, piece by piece, shadow by shadow. But destiny has a funny way of throwing a wrench into even the most calculated plans. Amidst his cold-blooded quest for revenge, the Chun crossed paths with Song King. Song Qingyan is the ice queen of the corporate world, stunning, brilliant CEO who stands at the helm of a collapsing empire. She is surrounded by sharks, family members who want to steal her position, and rivals who want to see her fail. Years ago, a single, fateful night bound the Chun and Qingyan together in a way neither expected. They shared a moment of vulnerability that resulted in a secreta daughter. For years, Qingyan raised this child alone, facing the stinging whispers of society and the cruelty of her own relatives, never knowing that the father of her child was the very man who now drops off her lunch at the reception desk. The heart of this story isn't just the revenge. It's the agonizing slow burn of the reveal. Think about the sheer emotional weight of a man like the Tuna Man who can kill with a flick of a finger standing in a crowded park. Watching a little girl being bullied because she doesn't have a father. Imagine the storm brewing in his chest when he realizes that little girl, with her bruised knees and tear-filled eyes, is his own flesh and blood. At that moment, the courier of the Shun dies, and the master of the Blue Dragon begins to wake up. But he can't just reveal himself yet. If he steps into the light too soon, the monsters who killed his mother will scatter into the dark. He has to play a dangerous game, being a father in the shadows while being a god in the underworld. The tension in this narrative reaches a boiling point every time the Chun is humiliated. We see him being slapped by arrogant young masters, having wine poured over his head at high-end galas, and being kicked out of members-only clubs. As a viewer, it's frustrating, it's infuriating, but it's also incredibly satisfying, because we know what's coming. We know that every person who touches him is essentially signing their own death warrant. The Chun takes the hits with a terrifyingly calm smile, because he knows that in the world of the Northern Fortress, the higher they climb, the harder they fall. As Song Qingyan's business rivals close in, trying to force her into a marriage with a corrupt billionaire just to save her company, the miracles of the courier start to happen. Contracts worth billions appear on her desk out of thin air. Thugs who try to kidnap her daughter are found tied up and trembling. Speaking of a blue dragon they saw in the dark, Qingyan begins to look at her regular delivery guy differently. She notices the way he stands not like a servant, but like a king in disguise. She notices that whenever he is near, the world feels safe. The chemistry between them is electric, because it is built on a foundation of hidden truths, and a shared love for a child who deserves the world. The script takes a dark, cinematic turn as the Chun finally links the death of his mother to the very people trying to destroy King. The two paths of his life, the quest for justice, and the need to protect his family collide, in a spectacular explosion of action and strategy. This isn't just a fistfight, it's a total systematic dismantling of an empire. One by one, the villains who thought they were untouchable find their bank accounts frozen, their secrets leaked, and their protectors turning into their executioners. The most iconic moment of this tale is the great reveal. Picture a massive hall filled with the city's elite, all gathered to celebrate the downfall of Song Qingyan. They are laughing, mocking the fatherless child and the trascurie, and then the doors swing open. But it's not a courier who walks in. It's a man flanked by the most elite soldiers of the Northern Fortress. The air turns cold, the music stops, and the silence is deafening. When the Chun speaks, his voice doesn't sound like the polite delivery boy anymore. It sounds like thunder. Seeing the look of pure, unadulterated terror on the faces of his enemies as they realize they've even bullied. A god is the ultimate payoff that makes every minute of this story worth it. But even in his triumph, the Chun remains a man of depth. He doesn't just destroy, he heals. He reunites with Kingyin, not as a master, but as a partner. He picks up his daughter, not as a stranger, but as the hero she always believed her father was. The story concludes with a powerful message. True power is about the title you hold or the suit you wear. It asks about the strength to endure humiliation for the people you love, and the wisdom to know when to strike. The Chunist journey from the frozen gates of the northern fortress to the dusty streets of the city, and finally, to the pinnacle of power, is a masterclass in the hidden hero trope. It's a story of a mother's memory being honored, a woman's dignity being restored, and a child's future being secured. As the sun sets on the city, we see a family finally whole. The Blue Dragon has returned to his throne, but this time he isn't alone. He has a queen by his side and a princess to protect him. And to the rest of the world, he might still just look like a man in a windbreaker. But now, they know better than to ever get in his way. This is more than just a drama. It's a visceral experience of justice being served cold. It's about the silent guardian, the watchful protector, and the father who truly rules everything. If you ever see a courier on the street who looks a little too calm, a little too focused, be careful, he might just be looking at a legend in disguise.